Your business grows to the extent that you do. It's one of the bold laws. Are you sign up for bold?
I'm gonna go to the first one.
First one, cool. So from what you read, what you see, what does it mean to you?
I mean, it's just, you know, your output equals like your input. So that's the basic thing that I see. You go 110%, and then hopefully you get back, you know, the work you put in.
Right. Janisha?
I feel like expansion is important. So, like when I'm exercising more, then I'm growing, I'm calling, I'm doing the activities that are, that's what it means to me.
Mm-hmm.
Keep growing.
Yeah. Who else? Any other thoughts?
The market.
Exactly. Always think about your capacity as a person, and think about yourself a year ago. And if you brought to the business, it might be still premature to talk about that in that capacity. But if you've been doing this for a while, keep comparing yourself to the previous version of you, right? And then who are you looking to? A person in the industry, for example, that, you know, he is like, wow, I want to be like this person. Can you be that person? Absolutely. It's just a matter of like how you can grow yourself as an individual. So they tie together. If you expect to be the CEO of the company that earn 1 million a year, what kind of person you need to become eventually, right? So that's one of the gift that Bold gives us to that journey and training. We'll, you know, talk more about that. Thank you for sharing. Next one. Jose, come up here, Jose. Thank you for feeding us this morning with you know, Chick-fil-A.
You're welcome. Good morning, everyone. All right, let's try that again. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
In case you guys didn't get, there is coffee in the back as well. I decided to get you guys some Chick-fil-A because let's be honest, who here is tired of bagels? Who here is tired of donuts in the morning? Even though there's 0 calories, right? Because in the shape of a zero. That's the excuse I tell myself. So for those who I have not had the pleasure to meet, my name is Jose Lopez. I'm your AE manager for my NHD. I'm your account exec. So any questions regarding NHCs, give me a call. I actually have a video to show you guys. It's a free tool for you guys to help you guys grow your business. This is to make you guys see more of an area expert, and it's a free tool. Go ahead and just lay that up. It's an AI generated voice. I did the whole video by myself, so don't judge me too hard. Go ahead and
MyNHD presents myhascheck.com. Find out flood and fire zones related to the property for free before you open escrow. Simply go to www.myhascheck.com, click the sign up and create your own personal account. And it's as simple as looking up the property either through address or APN.
MyHasCheck uses real map technology, which will show you easy to understand information regarding the property or location, and the map is shareable with others with your own branding. On the go, take MyHasCheck with you as it's available across all mobile devices.
Simply go to your browser and go to the website. Hit the plus icon and save to your home page or screen, and now you have our website saved as an app-style tile on your phone for on the go. Thank you for watching. Any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to your MyNHD.
So essentially what this is myhascheck.com. It's a free app-style tile you can save onto your phone. You go to the website. You're able to pull up the property and find out whether it's in a flood or fire zone before you open escrow. So let's say you guys are out door knocking or you're hosting an open house, and these are questions that maybe someone may have. You can easily type up the address, and then you can see it with real map technology, where it'll show you the property within 1/8 of a mile, or you can zoom out to as far as 1/2 mile. And it'll show you if it's in a fire zone, flood zone, or in an 8038. So therefore you can have that information before you open up escrow. And the beautiful thing about this as well is once you log in and create your own login credentials, you can hit share the map and it will say courtesy of Jose Lopez at KWPV, or it'll say courtesy of, and have your name and information on it. So if you guys are out door knocking or anything of the sort, you'd be surprised how quick of a conversation starter it can actually have, where if you look up a property address and you see that this isn't a flood zone, but the next door neighbors isn't, imagine knocking on that neighbor's door, just saying, hey, we're having an open house. And by the way, did you know that this house was in a flood zone, but yours isn't? That's an easy conversation starter to break the ice. Yet again, it's a free tool with Meny Atias. Only thing we always request is if you guys are writing up offers, go ahead and put us in for your Meny Atias needs. Like I said, we do all the work, you get all the coverage. If you have any upcoming listings and you need to order the NHD report, we can order that for you and bill through escrow, so there's nothing paid out of pocket. You don't close, you don't pay. So I wanted to showcase that. We are going to do a class on this soon. We're going to get it on the book, just to teach you guys a more in-depth version of it, but it's a very easy thing, myhascheck.com. So thank you guys for your time. I'm not the main spotlight. Your man of the hour is.
You always the main spotlight. I was like, come on.
So I thank you guys for coming. Please, can I say, enjoy the Chick-fil-A? Anything that's not eaten, I'm just gonna eat. I'm not here for summer ready. So I won't eat.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much.
Jose. And talking about this, go one more before Michelle. Anybody reviewed the new RPA, the purchase agreement that is going to launch in hours into June from now? Anybody? Yeah. So anybody notice paragraph 3L4? They added a new contingency. Anybody knows what it is? Remember what it is? The insurance contingency. Okay, or insurance. How do you say it? Insurance? Yeah, insurance. They added a new contingency for the buyer, which is insurance contingency. You know what kind of insurance? Any kind of insurance. It's down the RPA. There's another section over there. I forgot which number is that. I think it's page 5. At the bottom, it talks about the specific insurance, which makes it very could make it more complicated. But this is mainly, and it addresses the fire insurance because of the challenges. Again, this is California contracts, right? So your Meny HD partner becomes the partnership more critical than ever before, because once you get a property, when you get a new listing, or if you're the due diligence part, buyer on even on the buyer side, they can tell you exactly if it's a high fire zone, and that's tied to the AB 38. And then it goes to another section over there that, who's paying for that inspection and the cost and everything. So again, if you have any question, any doubt, call Jose, because that's going to make it a bit more, could make it a bit more complicated, down the road. So we don't have a date yet. Maybe we do, I'm not sure, but we are scheduling a 3-hour overview for all the revised forms with our broker, okay, with Jeff. Do we have a date for that?
June 14th.
June 14th. Is it a Monday?
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday, sorry. So it's a Friday. So June 14th, we're gonna, make sure that you're gonna
We actually
get. Okay, beautiful. Thank you. So 2 clicks, 2 slides, and we have Michelle. And see if you can spotlight her as well. Michelle, are you here? Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yes, she is. See if you can spotlight Michelle as well. So I had the pleasure to meet Michelle in person. That was about 2 years ago, right?
I think it was all the way back in 21. So
Oh my
we're
God,
at 3 years
21,
now.
the year of the COVID. Okay. So 3 years ago, and just over 3 years ago. And Michelle, anybody heard about the concept Profit First, the bookkeeping method, John, the back? Yeah. So, Michelle, I could say that you're the one who actually wrote the book, Michelle, but because you're practicing that in high level. But talk to us about who you are, what you do, what your company does, and what kind of amazing value you can add to us professionals.
Absolutely. Thank you, Meny, for that. The book Profit First was written for entrepreneurs. And the number one reason that businesses shut their doors is for cash flow purposes. So I want to relate this to you as individual agents and also knowing that you have your own business as well. This is a cash flow management tool based upon your behaviors and making sure that you've got enough money set aside in order for you to pay for the things that are important to you and to pay yourself as to feed your families. Meny, is it okay if I share my screen? Would that be all right?
Of course, yeah.
All right. Okay. You might have to give me permission.
Yeah.
Oops.
Here, wanna get to it? Here, get to it. 1 second, Michelle.
No problem.
Yeah. There we go.
Thank you. All right. So what I'm going to start with here, the Sum of All Numbers is a business consulting firm offering fractional CFO services to small businesses and bookkeeping support. And one of the tools that we use is, all right, let's see here. Where's my show the slide? That's fine. One of the tools that we use is Profit First as a cash flow management in helping small businesses and individuals really assure that they've got cash when they need to have cash. Slideshow. There we go. I knew that I'd find it eventually. There we go. All right. So what I want to start with you today is I want you to think about your lifestyle and what you have. We're going to start right here, your basic lifestyle income. And I want you to just think about this. How much money do you need to have in order to pay for your rent, your utilities, your telephone, you as an individual? And that's your lifestyle where you are. Then we have this beautiful thing over here that's called advanced lifestyle. That includes things like vacations and new cars and other things that are beyond just the basic lifestyle. We back that number up, and you can do this yourself to say, well, how much do I need to bring home each pay period? And then how much do I need to really be making in the closings and the escrows that you close so that you can get to this number here, which talks about the amount of money that comes in. When you're, and I loved hearing from my NHD because it's a great example of saying how much money needs to come in at the close of the escrow, then that takes out a portion of that for your all of the different expenses that you have that go along with it, your transaction fee coordinator, your my NHD, other things that happen when an escrow closes. And then that comes in what we call as real income. And how much do you need to set aside to cover the expenses of your business, your advertising, your marketing that you do, perhaps your virtual assistant. And then that is what is left for you then to live off of. So I want you to think of it in terms of cash. This is the mechanics of Profit First. You have money that comes in, and for you, it's going to be a matter of escrows closing, of which I'd love all of you to make a schedule for me right now and tell me when all the sales for the next of the year is going to happen, of which we don't know. And so for you, it's a matter of saying, all right, this is what I hope to have happen. And when the money comes in, I've got to plan accordingly to get me through being able to pay for my expenses and for my lifestyle. So the money comes in, and the way Profit First works is by using bank accounts. There is a behavior aspect to this. When you separate your money out into separate bank accounts with purposes, then it is your little guardrails to, I'm not going to spend that. That's what that's for. So it breaks into these areas of a bank account for profit, meaning this is what the joy of you being your own business person instead of taking a salary from someone, the blood, sweat, and tears that go into operating your own business, what you take to live off of, that's that lifestyle that we talked about a minute ago. And then also for your taxes. so that when it comes due to pay the IRS in the state of California, that you've set aside a good amount so that you can pay that. Then the last piece is all the operating expenses. That's what OPEX stands for. When I talk about operating expenses, those are things like the choice of you using My NHD or not, having a virtual assistant, having photography, perhaps, all the things that go into what makes you successful as an agent. You can see these are all in this cream color. This is all meant for you. And the green is meant for your business, you and your lifestyle, you and taking care of yourself, and then for your business. So that is the basics of Profit First, of helping you to have a healthy business and for you to take care of yourself at the same time. And you can grab that book by Mike Michalowicz, read it and implement it yourself. Many, many people do. We also offer a boot camp here for just the real estate professionals, because you're unique in the sense of versus other small businesses in that your cash flow is seasonal, because most things pick up mostly in the summertime, slow down at certain other times of the year. And also the industry, the market conditions really affect your revenue stream as well. That boot camp is a 6-week course that we teach in-house specifically for you and helps you implement that. We also have instructional videos available if you're interested in that. It's kind of a supplement to reading the book. We do offer one-on-one consulting, and we do Profit First bookkeeping if that's as well. This over here is for a free business financial health check for you to take and just to kind of see where you are and give you some feedback there. Any questions you want me to answer?
That was great, Michelle. Thank you. Anybody here is using bookkeeper in his business? Yeah, yeah. I guess the rest of you doing your own bookkeeping, fair to say, right? Or about to soon, like once you're gonna get some business in.
You're really fortunate to have Keller Williams behind you and giving you a chart of accounts that just aligns with everything the way you do business instead of just having to start from fresh. The resources that you have from Keller Williams are amazing to set you up for financial success and for organization of your finances as well.
Yeah, what Michelle is referring to is the chart of accounts that you can find inside the MREA book. It really have everything broken down, and that's why I think that this relationship with Michelle, because she's serviced quite a few KW agents out there. Clearly, you need to be in production to justify someone like that, but it makes sense because if that part of the business is disorganized, I'm not destined to fail, but it's going to be very hard for you to understand like what's happening. Like this part of the business, right, Michelle? It's got to be clean and organized. So I understand, what I'm doing.
It's kind of like in the days where you balance your checkbook and you take your bank statement and see where all your money is going. When you're running a business, if you've got that clarity, how much did I really spend on the photographer or your advertising? But not just the dollar amount, but the percentage. What percentage of my total sales that came in went for those expenses? Because it's easy to spend a little here and a little there, but when you pull it all together, and that's what your financial statements give for you is, oh my goodness, I didn't realize I was spending that much, or I didn't get the return that I expected off of that. And it's there in dollars that actually got spent and dollars that got earned versus your gut feeling.
Yeah, and we call it red light, green light in KW, right? You want to lead with the revenue. Now, sometimes when you launch a business, you take some kind of a loan. You have to have some capital. See it as maybe your savings when you're first starting. Some will leverage some kind of a credit card company, right, to start, etc. But at the same time, you want to know exactly where you stand. Otherwise, you will always feel. Most agents have the tendency to spend, because we're thinking, I'm going to get the commission. So in another way, we spend the commission before we earned it, right? I see it all around. Well, if that's the case, because we do have to upfront some of the costs, like Michelle said, at least you understand how much you should spend in advance or doing every transaction, right? Because when you close a deal and the average price point, let's say, is 1 mil, and you earn $25,000 gross commission, it's not really 25,000, right? It's maybe half, Michelle.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, when you're selling real estate, you've got an infrastructure there of contracts and disclosures and a process. And Keller Williams has really defined that for you, so it makes it very simple. This is the financial end of it, having an infrastructure in place to set you up for success. Because the entrepreneurial mind, and I'm going to say, especially for agents, is I just need to make one more sale and all my problems will go away. I just need to make one more sale and I can do that. And then things happen like these lovely interest rates that just knock us off at the knees. Or what did we experience before that? Having listings on the market and then people bidding and you couldn't sell, you couldn't find a house for your sellers because they were bidding. It was an all-out war there. So when you've got the structure in place and a plan of this is how I'm going to tackle it, this is what I'm going to set aside, regardless of what happens next, I know I can feed my family. I've got a savings set there and I can pay my taxes when they come due. That's your infrastructure there with a financial plan for you, not only to take care of your business, but yourself personally.
Exactly. Yeah. Any questions for Michelle?
Yep.
And the best way to reach you, Michelle,
we've
that's
got
we
two
have on the
different
screen your
numbers
email
there.
and number.
Yep. So that 547-6772 right there. I'm up in the Sacramento area. And so that will get me directly. If you want to get, or you can at the contact us today with the 888 number. Aowen's on the call with us today as well. And she's more, I'm just going to say, she's more available than I am to take your call. So you probably will get more traction sooner if you reach out to Aowen at that 888 number, but either number will work.
Yeah. Oh, and I see on the screen as well. Erwin, hello.
Yeah.
Great. Any questions? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
And just, you know, I got my license when I was 19. So, you know, back in 1990, now you guys know how old I am. So we've got a whole real estate division here in our business with experts in the real estate field, because the way things come in a real estate transaction for your books is very different than, say, if you had e-commerce or if you were a plumber. And so we're set up to help you and to speak the language that you speak.
Yeah, I love that, you know, and you know, even if you're not planning to or not ready for this, save this number, because your client at some point, if they haven't done so yet, will ask you, hey, do you know any good accountant, right? A bookkeeper or what have you, you know, company. One more thing, Michelle, tell us about the certified pumpkin plan consultant.
All right. So Profit First is the piece about the cash flow. But there are other elements of a business, and this is also a book by Mike Michalowicz, in that when you know who your top clients are, so some of you may be targeting higher areas of the marketplace. Some of you may realize that your top clients are the ones that are in a low income area. Each of you are going to find a little niche, and when you decide what that niche is, you can speak the language of those top clients. A Keller Williams agent up in the Palo Alto area, she happens to be 80 years old, found herself in a divorce where she had to support herself. She decided to target elderly people that needed to sell their homes in Palo Alto. And guess what? She realized, and this is a pumpkin plan strategy, they don't read emails. They are paper people. And so she found her niche by going to people who were, it wasn't even retirement. It was, I need to sell my home that I've been in Palo Alto for 50 years. And I need someone to pack up all my belongings and help me to figure out how to have an estate sale. So you too, this is the pumpkin plan strategy. Who are your top clients? What is the unique offering that you have? And do you have a system in place? And when you have all three of those, you can build a giant pumpkin. That's the type behind it. So this is the strategy part of our fractional CFO services that we provide is what are you doing to be able to really blast out in your business and take those three elements into effect. So
I love that. Any questions for Michelle? Okay, sum of all numbers. Michelle, thank you so much. Always good to have you.
welcome.
Appreciate you.
Glad to have you.
Erwin, thank you as well.
All right.
Thank you. Welcome to Stay on the Call. Next slide, please. New listings that we have. If you're here, you can, pitch more. A young Lee. I think it's on the Brokers Open today, right? In RPV, just under 3.4 mil. That's young Lee. Brooke. She has I believe it's a condo. Is she on the call? No. In LA, unit 203. I'm not sure. You should probably add bed and bath next time. 835,000. Next slide. Maggie and Paige. They have a San Pedro. Looks like a townhome. Second.
Gardens condo.
Oh, it's a condo. Okay. For under 800,000. And Didi, what do you have in LA? Can you move this, please?
The 3-bedroom, the bath is in the first street. They have very beautiful LED light view. And we have open house on the weekend.
Beautiful. 3.3 Burr Street in LA. Thank you, Didi. And Bree, Jewel, they have a townhome in Corona for 540. 540. Corona used to be cheaper at some point. 540 in Corona. That's great. Yeah. Closing. Before closings, anybody else have coming soon? Buyer needs? Yes.
I have a very, very tiny condo, 1 bedroom.
How tiny? It's very, very tiny. It's like.
It's a tiny home. No, it's 660 per in Torrance,
660.
661.
Okay, cute.
Very
In Torrance. How many? 1 bedroom?
1 bedroom.
Okay.
1 bedroom. Torrance and South Vermont,
Mm-hmm.
all the way there. 430.
430. Okay, that's great.
How much is that, Joy?
400.
And that's coming soon?
Yes.
Good.
hopefully this weekend.
Sure. Okay, thank you. Who else? What do you have? Yes, John.
Two bedrooms, got lease coming up.
Are those two separate leases? Two separate, okay. 2,500, 2 + 2 in San Pedro, is it? San Pedro, okay. That's John D'Amico. Who else? Buyer needs? Okay. On the Zoom, put on the chat for a second. Angus, good morning, Marlene.
Yes,
You
good
have-
morning.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, what do you have?
I have a coming soon. It's a probate sale. It's in Torrance. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. It needs work. 799.9 is going to be the asking, and it's LARD 1.5. Not 100% sure, but apparently it means that we can build up to 3 units into that particular lot. That's for about 5,000. The house is about 996 square feet, and it will need some work. But we're in the process of evicting the tenants, so that's why we're waiting maybe 1 more week.
Got it. Okay, perfect. That's a good one. You know?
Yeah.
Even like, owner user, investor, sounds like a good one. That was in Torrance
Yes, off of Western.
of Western.
Yes.
What's the best way to reach you? What's your cell phone number?
It's the 310-717-1810.
Thank you. Anybody else? needs, wants. Okay, closings. The past week, Stephen Haas, Cindy, she was here for a second ago. In Torrance for 1950. Congrats. Another one, Stephen and Cindy, Stephen Haas, Cindy for just over 4 mil in RPV. It's a beautiful view. Closing on the buyer side, Stephen Ha, Cindy, Rolling Hills Estates for 650. Looks like a condo. And Bree, Artesia, 675. Congratulations. We also had Didi. Didi, you sold the unit in LA for 751. One. How do you come with the one? 751. Good job on the $1,000 extra. And Betty, Hacienda Heights. Oh, you sold that one. Hacienda Heights. Just about 1 mil. Congratulations. Beautiful, beautiful. And Young Lee sold for an RPV. That was a lease actually. Closed for over 11,000. Good job, everybody. Congrats. Good job. Always want to celebrate success, right? Next slide. We went over this one. Open houses.
So I'm still collecting names, and anyone who wants to hold an open house, let me know. I'm working with Dustin.
Anybody has any open houses available that they want to share right now? Open houses? Okay. Okay. Next slide. Events. This coming Sunday, we're going to kayak in Long Beach and Naples canals. Join us. First 5, we're going to pay for you. So feel free to join us. That's 10 o'clock on Sunday. Easy parking. Next slide. Oh, who's leading on that? Yes, King of the Hill. So this is, I'm not sure how many years we're participating in this event. It's been quite some time. We finished last year. What was it, like 3rd place?
No, we went to the final round, but then we lost.
Okay, so 2 years ago we got the 3rd place. Yeah. Even though we did beat they got the 1st place. I don't know, but it's a fun event, and we always do it together with our sister offices. You know, South Bay, PV, LA Harbor, Long Beach. Participants. We have a little kind of tent and just food and maybe some alcohol involved, stuff like that. So let Daniel, you're getting all the names, and that's on the 28th. So if you're participating, make sure to block your 12 noon or so until midnight. What? Say again?
Happy hour after.
Yes. Well, it's happy hour from 12 until whatever. So. But yeah, but it's fun because you get to meet also all the other companies, mostly in PV, right? Not clearly because it's part of the board over here, so it's kind of it's a fun day.
Also, if you're not participating, you can come as a cheerleader. That's what I'm gonna do. So we're trying to rally as many KW people to like support our team.
Yes.
So just stop by too. Just let me know.
Yes.
You have uniforms and stuff?
That's a good question because they always been talking about having one. I think past years they showed up with the Raider shirts. No, the Red Day. Oh, definitely not the Raiders. Yeah, yeah. But no, that's a good point. Yeah.
They have like DJs set up all the music there.
Yeah. No, it's a really fun event. I mean, you definitely want to, if you can, attend that, just come and support and have fun. It's definitely worth it. That too. Yeah. Yeah. Next slide. Okay, so we spoke about the upcoming July contract changes. So June 14th, we'll do a couple of hours, and just really go over all the changes. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to share both on the private Facebook group that we have, and I'm going to have Daniel email afterwards, recap of the meeting with a link to a Dropbox with all the revisions. Okay, you always want to go first to the red line version because, and I'm going to give you like in June, whatever, once they're going to release that's going to change your existing forms in zip forms. So once you're going to open the RPA, you say like, oh yeah, it looks different, but it won't really look different, right? And it's going to be very hard to guess where the changes, comma, a number, a paragraph, a whole section. So the red lines version is important for you to go over. So you're going to see exactly what changed, study it. And then when the new form is there, you already ask me, hey, what is this insurance section over here? Oh, let me explain to you, explain like what it is, right? And it's very easy, by the way, if you are going in that, in that way, going on the red line version, it's really just really to understand the language. And it's very easy to digest. Like you don't really need to study much if it makes sense. But we're gonna do that just in case. Why? Because you are gonna have questions. You are gonna have questions. And as I mentioned, for example, the new RPA change with insurance, it might create confusion, and it might oppose some kind of a loophole, right? Either on the buyer side or on the seller side, if you don't pay attention carefully, right? That can affect, again, insurability, lender situation and stuff like that, can create unnecessary delays or what have you. So we definitely need to study that. So once I'm going to share with you that content, just be curious enough and go and start to open every form and see the red line and because it's very easy to understand, okay? So make sure that this is coming, that make your best effort to be here. We are gonna make sure either in June or July to make one mandatory session, at least on the leasing agreement, broker buyer compensation and the purchase contract, mandatory for all the associates. You will have to go to that training either in person or over Zoom with us because the changes also apply to the compensation changes, okay? And by the way, compensation changes, also you're going to see them on the contracts, okay? Some of them are significant changes. Yes.
Are you gonna email us the red that you're talking about?
Folder, yes,
Okay.
yeah. It's a Google folder link, and all the revised forms are there, okay? And I would save that link on your phone somewhere, like on your like a preferred link, or even on the screen or what have you, so you can always go and understand what changes. Okay, that's once it's gonna apply it to the zip forms, it's gonna be all just black font. Like you wouldn't know what changed really unless you know it in advance. Make sense? One big change that is coming, by the way, part of the RPA, not just but on the RPA, is escrow will have to disclose both buyer, seller, buyer's agent, and listing agent, how much the buyer and seller commissions are. Okay? They can let them know like in a joint or separately, but it's a big change because until today, the buyer or the buyer's agents, excuse me, the buyer agent didn't know how much the listing agent was earning, right? That's changing, effective June.
Yeah, in most cases, agent access escrow that has
Separate.
So you as a listing agent, if you're 3% and the buyer is getting 2%, those are going out to separate instructions currently. And only the broker and the seller signs those. So the buyer will never see it. So unless you're open to it and sharing with the buyer, they would never know.
Yeah, so moving forward, it's not up to you. Right, the reason I mentioned that, by the way, because having multiple escrow companies, I feel for my escrow officers because the agent is going to be probably hostile at the very beginning.
You have nothing to worry about with anyone seeing what's being paid. So if you're just upfront and open, then it's no problem.
It's probably the transparency that they're encouraging. I argue that I don't think we had issues prior to that, but we passed that. It's not up to us anymore. But my point: don't be upset with the escrow officer because it's not their call. They have to do it. And it's based on our new contracts. Okay. So again, you're going to see all of that once we're going to do this session or prior through what I'm going to share with you. Okay. And it's a very simple language, easy to understand. So next slide. Ignite, launching again. When is that? May 21st? Is that today? Yes.
We're starting again. We took a week break last week, and so we're gonna start again tonight at 6 p.m.
Who's teaching?
James at the knowledge.
James. King James is teaching tonight. So that's the first session? 8. Okay.
Capturing leads through social media.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a great for that.
Perfect. Okay. You have?
Well, staying.
Yeah. So Ignite is the basic practice of the industry as of today. Over 20 sessions, right? Yeah, 20 sessions. It's kind of broken down to different topics, which is it's a brilliant concept. And you know, I'm not sure how many years. I would argue at least probably 20 years since KW implemented Ignite initially. Bold is it's more of a coaching session or seminar, and it has also by different topics 7 sessions, but it's I call it Ignite on steroids. That's what Bold pretty much is. Okay, so here we get the best of our office teaching and sharing. Bold is a different instructor. I happen to be Cody Gibson. They're probably going to sit in again. Yeah. Next slide. Thank you, James. Nothing is free, but yes,
In exchange for education.
exactly. Yeah,
Many thanks. One more.
please. Yeah.
So, EPAR is hosting a class with Barbara Betts. Is anyone familiar with Barbara Betts? She hosted a social media class here last year. The CAR trainer. She's excellent. She's gonna be talking about a lot of the new features too, so.
One more. I don't know what it is.
Totally sticking with new changes classes. Please come. It's free for PVPAR members. And it's at the Cheesecake Factory next Thursday. Breakfast is included. And it's $50 for non-members. I saw her give this class in Sacramento 2 weeks ago, and it's excellent. It's not like talking about the contracts and stuff. It's more about the general practices, talking about us to do business with the community. So sign up, and there's spaces limited. So yeah.
This is Bold. As we mentioned, some of you sign up for the first step. I encourage everybody to go to the first step at least. And if you want to elevate your business to the next step, because it's all about the practice and the consistency, then just commit yourself to the entire session. It's also like with Cody, which is one of the best out there in the world by his production, and it's going to be down the street, Pedro, at the Doubletree Hotel on the water. So cute little spot. First day we're going to provide you guys lunch as well. So hope to see you there.
So yeah, all 4 offices were rallying everybody up to 10 gold, and I want to say thank you so much for we first started off with 3 people, but now we ramped it up to almost 20, and then still more coming. And I just want to thank you so much. We're trying to reach South Bay, so
we are going to beat South Bay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know about Long Beach, but South Bay for sure.
We have a post to about 50 members, so we're trying to reach 40. So let's do that, right? Good point.
Come on, Drew. Come on. No, but just come on. Oh, that's awesome.
So
Oh, wow.
it'll be finished today. So thank you guys for signing up.
Yeah.
And then this is the video.
Did we watch it?
Yeah.
No. Just yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna too much on Mega Camp. 2 big events a year. Mega Camp and Family. Mega Camp is every year in Austin, Texas, and that's where we get together and It's Gary on stage with all the leadership. There's top producing agents doing masterminds and panels. And then you meet, this is the smaller scale events, about only about 9,000 to 10,000 people. The smaller event, right? But you get to network in high level. The family event, that's where the international also shows up. So that's kind of, it's a bigger scale, you know, masterminds, etc. It's about, you know, 13 to 16,000 people every year. But if you, the reason that they do it every 6 months is that you're every 6 months at least touch and get refreshed and get inspired and learn from other people around the country, same practices, right? That's a beauty of it. So if you have intentions, it's part of your business expenses, investment, etc. So this is a good investment and a good expense as well. Okay, for your business. We go every year. Next. Recap, Dustin, what's up with the all good looking people?
Yeah, I got chased by a couple of.
Oh, yeah.
We did. What was funny about that one is the rental company, they went to pick up the van in the morning and they were like, we're really sorry, we don't. I was like, oh, you're telling me a story. I just want my van. They're like, okay. So they got us a van and we had a good time. So we typically do it on the first Monday of any, or first Tuesday of any given month. June can be a little bit different, you guys, because my girls are getting out of school. My oldest is graduating elementary school. So I will be gone the first Monday, but we'll do it the next one. And it's a great time. So if you want to join us, more than welcome anytime.
I still got a few spots, so let me know.
Yeah. So it's not going to be 4. It's the.
Dustin, you up next.
Okay. 3 quick things.
Let's take it away.
So I heard a couple talk about insurance. And this was actually a conversation this morning in my office. Insurance, the industry itself, so it was told to me by someone who owns the brokers that we're talking with on a conference call this morning, is they're experiencing their 2008 right now. It's very tumultuous. And it's not just because we are fire prone or mudslide or earthquake, but also that the commissioner, Ricardo Lara, for insurance, California insurance, had put a cap on increases in premiums. And at the start of COVID, it's like, you can't raise prices, right? Because everyone's kind of in a dire situation. A lot of people got laid off. We hadn't done anything for 4 years. So just now he allowed increase. And so the whole industry is just, again, going through a lot of problems. We do have 2 different insurance brokers that we work with that are excellent, that are absolute reflections of us. I don't endorse anyone unless they operate at our caliber or better. So if it's ever needed, then you can reach out to me and I'd be happy to refer you to him. You just let him know that we referred you. His name is Brian Crumbreaker. Text me and I'll text you over to you. He's a great guy.
He's really good.
Johnny on the spot, like, really good.
Yeah, he's good.
Meaning, if you text him within 5 minutes, he's like, I'll get right back to you. He's on it. The second thing, not to touch on loan products so much, because you guys know that though there's 110 different ways to structure a loan for a client, every situation is different, right? For down payment assistance, there's been a big, what we say, incomplete narrative in that your clients can qualify for down payment assistance or these different grants, but there's always these purse strings attached to it. A big one is that your clients cannot make more than 80% of the median household income for the county, even sometimes city that they live in. And there's a new option that just came out to allow people that go up to 100% of the county average. And then they can still get a grant. And what it is a silent second mortgage. Silent meaning that you don't make a payment and it's at 0%, no interest. The only time that it's paid back is when the person decides to refinance or sell the house in the future. Okay, that's a great ability to help. So it's basically for those that have income, just haven't been able to save because they just pay $6 a gallon and child take care and all those other fun things. Energy store. Exactly. So if you want more information on that, if you have a client that needs a strategy session, then reach out. Third thing I was going to share with you guys, I'm going to try this on to be kind of fun with you. So you guys know how I feel about mainstream media and the way that they talk about the housing industry, right? We're like their little stepbrother, or just, real estate just gets poo-pooed on all the time. It really does. And so there was a report that came out about home equity. And then they were talking about foreclosures in the same conversation. I was like, well, that's interesting. I'm going to take this headline and I'm going to research it. And inside of 1 hour, here's what I came up with. The amount of equity that we have in the United States is at records right now. 2024, we have $17 trillion in equity. $11 trillion of tappable equity, meaning that if someone were to pull out cash from our house, they go up to 80% loan value.
Mhm.
This is the record. How many zeros are in $1 trillion, you guys?
Well,
Yes, there is. Good answer. Okay, so other fun things with that, to have fun with it, when your clients are like, I'm reading foreclosures, I heard Diana Olick on CNBC, foreclosures are coming. Really? Okay, well, there's a $17 trillion in home equity, and it says homeowners right now, 40 million of them, were to spend $10 million a day, it would take them over 3,000 years to exhaust that. We're talking 12.1 million tons, 12.1 million tons of dollar bills. That's a lot, right? So what happens when interest rates come down? What do you think is gonna happen? For every 1% that interest rates decrease, how many more people qualify for the purchase of a house?
Mhm.
5 million. For every 1% that interest rates come down, how much does that increase someone's purchasing power on average?
Mhm.
50,000. So the writing's on the wall, you've heard me say it many times about where we anticipate interest rates to come in the next 12 months, right? Start to slide down slowly and gradually
Yeah.
and continuously, maybe not a straight line, but it's gonna continue. What's gonna happen with home values? They're gonna go up, right? So just having some of these fun facts that I was sharing with you, like I said, I did it inside of an hour. My challenge to you, give me a headline. Text message it to me, email it to me. I will spin it right back into good data so that you can share it with your clients and have good conversations with them when you're at their open houses or otherwise. I'm happy to be there for you in any way that I can. As I always say, I'm as far away from you as. That's right.
That's it. Good stuff. Yeah, definitely great resource. It's going to help you to, to handle objections, right? And convert them to a deal. Alicia, what do you have for us? Good morning.
Just another spinoff on the insurance matter. I'm actually excited and glad to see that there's gonna be a contingency because it has actually delayed so many closings of escrow. If you haven't experienced it yourself, it is happening. I have 2 right now that both have insurance issues that are pushing out the closing. So just know that that's a real thing. Really talk to your buyers about that and be prepared. Reach out to Dustin. Obviously, he has great contact. Make sure your buyers are going to him. He's gonna make sure that they're set up and that you have delays on your escrow. The other thing is that in conversation this past week, I wanted to remind you guys about your clients that are holding property in a trust or in an LLC. They need to make sure that they have a bank account with the trust name on it or the LLC name, whatever corporation they might be working in, because all proceeds have to go to a bank account with the trust information, with the LLC information, with the corporation information on it. It cannot just go to a bank account that has the signer's names on it.
Did you have one like that?
It comes up more often than you would think.
That's funny.
Mainly when somebody has passed away, not so much
Right.
with corporations or LLCs. It just so happens I was on the phone with somebody that just formed an LLC this morning and he's gonna be selling a property. Well, he was like, oh yeah, I don't have a bank account. He goes, I'm gonna need that. Like, he didn't even know, but he's new to having an LLC. This is a new experience for him. So you have people who are, very savvy, people like Meny, and he's like, oh yeah, of course I have a bank account. But then you have people who are just starting out. Or maybe somebody has passed away on a trust, so now the successor trustee has stepped in. They may not even know if there was ever a bank account with the trust name on it. So that's something that you can use in your listing presentations. Even if you're having a buyer that's gonna take title in a trust, you can talk to them that they also have a bank account with the trust name for the future, because they never know when that's gonna come up. And it also take away a headache for their successor trustees if they already have a bank account, so. Just that little tidbit for you guys, and anytime you're taking a listing, going on a presentation, please come see me first. We'll set you up with a net sheet, we'll pull title, we can order HOA docs, we can get you situated with your clients to have the most successful escrow. All right?
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. And if you stress out, you can go to Alicia's office. It's the most relaxing, Zenish office in Palos, Verdes. So relaxing. Yeah, lay on the couch, listen to the water feature. Yeah, I love it. That's it. That's all we have. That's all we have. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Zoomies. Finish the chicken, please. Whatever got left. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Zoomies.